So during an emergency, and emergency risk communications, often during emergency, we'll call it crisis communication. We're trying to bridge the public health context with the public context. And there's so many things that come into play here. And even if you just take COVID-19 right now, you're going to see all of these things that we know are going to happen during an emergency. So the event is urgent. So there's an urgent need for rapid information. That means there has to be rapid decision-making by the leaders to really understand what needs to be conveyed to the population. And why do we need that conveyed to the population so well? It's because if individuals don't know where they're at risk and they don't know what recommendations to follow or what they need to do, if they don't trust the messengers, they're not going to follow those recommendations. And then the issue is not going to be taken care of. I'll go into a little bit more examples throughout my presentation. So there's often in any emergency, a bit of uncertainty around science, and you can see this playing out more than ever in COVID-19. In fact, like I said earlier, I was designing a lot of these trainings prior to COVID-19, and I would have to write simulation exercises similar to the one that you're using right now. And I would have never, ever designed an exercise like COVID-19 because, to be honest, it would have just seemed too unrealistic prior to what's happening right now. So we're definitely seeing an uncertainty in science. This is a new disease. So while we're learning more and more about it every day, we still don't know everything. We don't know how it's going to play out. So that leaves a big space for uncertainty. So the changing of information as we go along has provided, is why we need risk communication to be able to describe those changes to the population, those that need to react to them. There's lots of surprises and setbacks along the way. We're really relying on behavioral components to understand better how people are adapting to recommendations or how they're not. We're working with public anxiety and concern. And then also there's extreme public reaction. You can see this playing out with how people view masks and the politicization of the use of masks. And the political context is coming into play quite prevalently throughout the response as well.